She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Homo, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Not So Straight Nerds. I am your host, Luke.
And I'm your other host, Alicia.
And today, we have a conversation on the latest season of Gen V. So, before we get started on that, it feels like there's maybe a tad of catch-up. We're going to quickly kind of just talk about how this as a whole franchise with the boys, kind of our streak with that so far, and then start getting into the specifics of Gen V Season 2. Before we get to that, though...
Vibe check.
Woo, 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 woo.
Ow. He scratched me.
So the vibes are horrible.
I
then.
need to cut his nails.
Yeah, she is talking about a cat for those
didn't
listening
mean to.
on Spotify.
He's just a baby. Anyways, vibe check.
Otherwise, how are the vibes other than getting attacked by a cat?
Oh, I'm okay. My phone was broken at work, so that's really fun. No more details into that. So, but other than that, yeah, the vibes are good. I am excited to talk about this, even though I do feel like there's plenty of good and bad to talk about with this show. I'm still excited to talk about it. I do love these characters, and you know, I feel like the characters really do lead this entire universe, I guess, at this point. The boys and Gen V, whatever. Is I feel like sometimes the writing can be, like, a little intense. And I do fear that that's just because sometimes it's hard to watch what we're living in. It could be frustrating, but it has gotten to the point where it's like things are so bad in the world that anything that seems insanely dramatic in this show is not even a little bit dramatic. So,
Fair point.
you know, which is, you know, I don't know that makes it any better, but it's a thing that happens. So,
Interesting.
anyways, I am a little nervous about the boys, not so much nervous about any sort of future with Gen V. So, I don't know if it will have a future.
Alright.
So, we'll see. What about you?
Me, my vibes.
Yeah.
Man, I've been vibing. I have had a pretty chill day,
Her?
and I know tomorrow will be as well, so I'm just nothing but vibes.
Her. I'm like really close to taking half a day off. I'm like, I'm this close.
That's so bad.
But it's hard to like take off on a Friday because it's like you're so close. So, I don't know. Obviously, it's not, you know, they have like a game day tomorrow at work, which is going to be fun for you. But I'll probably just go for like the last hour of it.
Fair.
So, that's okay.
Well, okay. I wanted to start today's conversation quickly just kind of talking about some of the highs and lows that we feel about the original show, which was The Boys on Prime Video.
Yeah.
So, question for you, because I actually don't think I know this, because whenever I started watching it, you were kind of there leading me with it.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first start watching this show?
I feel like when it first came out, I think.
Okay.
I feel like I remember being there pretty close to the beginning. So, I mean, I was old enough to where I'd be into that content. I liked superhero stuff. So, yeah. I was watching lots of shows when we met. Yes, because I showed you, like, what, Heartstopper and Stranger Things. Daisy Jones and the Six we watched at the same time, though, so that doesn't count. I honestly forgot I had showed you The Boys. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So.
Because it was you and another friend in our friend group who were, like, super into it and pushing the rest of us to get on board.
Interesting. Well, past me had taste. Because early, you know, The Boys, it's weird to say. In the early days of The Boys, that's a better way to say it, it was really good. So, I mean, there's a reason that it was so popular. So.
Absolutely. And on that note, what do you think made it so popular?
You know, I think at the time, maybe people were used to Marvel. DC had kind of fallen off. Again, they've had some struggles over the years. So I feel like people were just excited for fresh content that felt very different from Marvel. Not that there's anything wrong, like hugely wrong with Marvel. I think you can easily enjoy both. I do. But I think it is kind of fun, maybe poking fun at it. Because I think, sometimes like it is funny to poke fun at stuff, like how silly of an idea just like on paper that some of these things are. I also think, it was a little ahead of its time with how much it pushed the political commentary. Because I do think, it is nice to watch content where superheroes, there's a huge group of them that fight for good, but I do think in real life it wouldn't quite be like that, especially if you're in a world like this where just kind of like anybody could get powers. I think that could be a little dangerous. So yeah, and since in the boys universe it's a drug, so that complicates things too, just the conversation of pharmaceuticals and all the things.
Sure. Actually, you raise a great point. I want to interject here. We will be talking spoilers through
Yeah.
all 4 seasons of The Boys thus far and all 2 seasons of Gen B.
Yes.
Be warned.
Diving right in. So, and you know us, we love to jump around, so just be warned now. Yeah, I don't know. And then I feel like the characters were really interesting. They were like close enough to being like characters we knew and loved, like obviously like a Superman type character, Wonder Woman type character, all those things, Aquaman, but it pokes fun at them in interesting ways. I do unfortunately think, I love DC now, and I'm so glad that it's kind of doing better overall. But I think at the time it was easy to hate on DC, and that's very much more so what I think they were poking fun at, not so much Marvel, I would say. But also it's more like adult superhero stuff. Same with Invincible. I think that was just fun for a lot of people to see. It could be cool and gory and deep, and they can curse a lot. Like it's very adult. So yeah, especially like that's the brand for the boys in Gen V, is like crazy powers, and they use them in fucked up ways, like the whole guy with the void in his butt thing, like they use that to the max, so you best believe. But that's, I feel like, always been their brand. Maybe they've turned it up a little bit, but I don't know, either that or maybe the writing has sunk a little bit, so it seems, I don't know, a little unbalanced. But
Sure.
yeah,
No, I agree with a lot of that.
yeah.
I think it also picked up at a place where like streaming shows were really starting to pick up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember exactly when the premiere was, but I
wanna say,
know
like 21 or something.
which is right
2021.
around when like the earliest like Disney Plus Marvel show started. I know Invincible started its season at the same time as like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was the Disney's second go at it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just interesting that all of these shows kind of picked up around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's worth noting that the 2, like these original ones, both in the Prime space,
Yeah.
definitely picked up a lot more momentum than the Marvel ones I think ever
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because, those starting ones for Disney weren't designed with season 2s in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be an issue inherently with starting stories, and then obviously their plan was to move them to the next movies, but I think that does ultimately I think bring down the excitement to like watch, and then any like rewatchability
Yeah.
becomes much more limited if there's not a chance to circle back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Love me a good limited series, but I think
Yeah.
especially as Marvel Studios' first show, like that whole first set, Loki ended up getting a season 2, and I think that
Yeah.
first season was the most popular. I think maybe to this date as far as Marvel Disney Plus shows.
I don't know.
But
I feel like you're right.
it's been a second since I looked at those numbers, but I want to say I think the first season of Loki is the most successful Marvel Disney Plus show.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one who had a season 2 launched immediately after the finale.
Yeah.
Like in the post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's possibly something to be said about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I also think, it probably helps that people wanted something new and fresh to get into. They probably had already seen a lot of Marvel stuff, and in the COVID times, they had a lot of downtime to rewatch stuff. So something brand new, I think, was probably really fun for people. Getting into a universe, not having to have any backstory or watch any previous films or shows is also a lot easier. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something to be said. Like Prime comes out with quite a lot of shows. I feel like that's kind of their brand. They're not always good. They have, plenty of bad ones. But they do have quite a lot of original shows. Like, I feel like them and honestly Netflix, I would say in my mind, is like probably has the most. I mean, Disney Plus has a lot, but not like.
I feel like Disney Pluses are just advertised more than like all of them combined.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, it's weird for them because they have Hulu, which is, I think, different. That's more of an American thing though, because I don't think Hulu's even a thing in any other country.
Sure.
So.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
But maybe now veering a little bit more into the actual content of the show.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite things about The Boys as a series thus far?
Oh, for sure, like Huey and Starlight, they're still like two of my favorite characters. I love them. Butcher, I feel like has had ups and downs, but I've loved the highs.
Mm-hmm.
And I like their ability to really change up their characters and where they're at. Like I love, since we're talking spoilers, I love that A-Train is on the good side now, because he definitely did not start the show like that. And then they have, vice versa, where some are started good and they're not so good now. Or, maybe they just have arcs or whatever. I do appreciate that a lot. I feel like it's hard for me to imagine Marvel doing that with a ton of their characters. Obviously, I think of like Wanda when I think of someone who's had good and bad moments. Plenty of those.
I mean, Loki.
Yeah. So they
and Winter Soldier. I would say that Marvel definitely has its patch of characters who
yeah
jump the line back and forth.
I think so. Maeve is another one in the Boys franchise that I think of a lot. I love Maeve and I love her storyline. Obviously, I don't know if she ever gets to a place where she's like totally good. Like I would never say she like gets to a place like Wonder Woman is, as in terms of how good of a person she is. But I do think she tries, and she becomes like another victim of the system. So it's kind of hard to compare. She gets in some tricky places. But I do love her. And even their villains are very interesting too. So, like, I think Homelander starts very interesting. Obviously very evil, but that's the point. What is his name? Soldier Boy?
Hmm?
Even, what's the Nazi girl's name?
Stormfront.
I mean, she was very, like, an interesting dynamic between her and Homelander. I hated her, and you're supposed to hate her. But it was interesting to watch.
I think the whole reveal around her character was done really well.
Yeah. And then when she gets, like, I forgot what happens to her, but she becomes, like, bald because I think she gets, like, burned or something. I don't remember. It's, like, when she's dying.
Mm-hmm.
Because she, like, loses limbs, too. She goes through it, which, period, as she should. And then the Deep's unhingedness. I feel like I never liked the Deep, but it is always crazy. And I think it's even funnier. It makes me think of that line in Peacemaker where he's like, he fucks fish. And it's like, wrong universe, dude. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, I will say, I think it's very fun that a lot of the main characters in The Boys are not superheroes. I'm trying to think if Marvel and DC really do that, but really they're centered around their superheroes.
I would say the closest they've had was like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And that was pretty
Such a
that
good
was
show.
pretty popular in its
That should show them. Bring back Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, Fitzsimmons, I can't. I need to move on. I'll cry just thinking about them.
for sure.
Yeah. What
No,
about
for
you?
sure.
Your highs and lows. Why I didn't really get into lows, but your
No, we're
highs.
still on highs.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think they explore powers in a way that other franchises aren't interested in exploring, and I think there's a lot of value to that. I think it's really cool to kind of highlight, the negative sides of having superpowers. It's a very
yeah.
what's the word? Cynical view of what this would look like,
Yeah.
especially like in the off times, how these characters, have sex lives, and
Yep.
like there was that support group pretty early on about like people who got injured while having sex with a soup. I think about that a decent amount when I like think of The Boys.
Yeah.
They talk about like they add like the celebrity aspect to it, which I think is explored in certain projects.
Yeah.
But here in this universe, it's very up and center.
Yeah.
But like they're celebrities first, and then they're people with superpowers.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is inherently, I think, just something very different. Interestingly enough, I think Wonder Man is going to literally
I was
be
just
a
thinking
good,
that.
backpedal to that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Marvel has to kind of add to this aesthetic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be nearly as cynical.
No.
But hopefully it's funny. I would say The Boys
Yeah.
is a very funny and shocking show.
Yeah.
I think that's just an interesting note. And I will say, I like what you were saying about like having the characters kind of be in a lot of different headspaces. It feels like in streaming, I would say in the last couple years to months, it feels like shows have been so like fast paced that it feels like they're kind of not letting things sit or simmer.
Yeah.
And I think early The Boys seasons do that really well.
Yeah. It, for some reason, that made me think of, because we're watching through Abbott Elementary and we just caught up. We're, like at any moment can start season 5. But it makes me think, I'm not going to say any specifics because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. But there's these two characters that, I guess this kind of would be spoilers if you start it even without saying the name, you'd know who it is. So I guess be warned. But there's these two characters that I feel like have pretty clear chemistry from like episode 1 even. And they don't get together till like the end of season 3. So, and I think about that, I'm like, that's honestly crazy because nowadays I feel like that would never happen. It's like so many times they don't let their storylines and their characters breathe. And I think that's a shame. And it's interesting because I feel like The Boys is a fairly short, like they have shorter seasons. They don't have like 22 episode seasons like Abbott
sure.
Elementary, which of course their episodes are twice as long. But I do feel like there's something to be said that maybe is getting a little ahead of myself. But I feel like they have short seasons and it still feels like they're able to breathe. Maybe not so much parts of Gen V. We were just kind of talking about that, how some things felt like could have used more time.
And the thing is, I think I feel the same way about like our last season of The Boys as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that might just be an issue with them constantly raising the stakes. Because, like we're saying, I think what really helps sell this world and these characters early on is having them be in this like big world and like there's expectations and having powers and being celebrities and just like existing around that. But then I think The Boys does a really good job about like having each character have like their own fleshed out world interacting with that. And I feel like the more it becomes like, okay, cool, I need to, like, because of the plot, I now have to be doing this all the time. I feel like you lose kind of what makes the show really special, which is like the human and character aspect, to this like huge, big coming together, clashing of forces.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's unfortunate that the show feels like it needs to sacrifice that. And I really wish they'd find a way that they didn't need to.
Yeah, I agree. It's frustrating because I feel like I really, for the boys at least, I need a rewatch before I can really. I need to sit there with a notepad to really gather down my thoughts, because I do feel like season 4 was disappointing overall. And it makes me think of Daredevil, because I feel like my initial reaction is like, well, that's because, it's always Homelander. Like, he just keeps coming back. It gets boring. And I'm not totally sure that that's the problem, because Daredevil has that with Kingpin, where Kingpin's always coming back. But I love that show. So, specifically, like, the Netflix version. But even the Disney Plus show, he was never the problem. So,
No, I completely agree.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's not Homelander, but he has other things going on. Other villains he fights. So, I don't know.
I don't know. I would say, and I love Anthony Starr as Homelander. I think
Yeah.
he gives an amazing performance.
Yeah.
As psychotic as it is.
Oh my gosh.
But I think the biggest problem I have with him thus, continuing to be the antagonist thus far is truly that it's they've had opportunities to completely cut this off
Yeah.
at the head, and they just didn't.
Yeah.
And specifically, I think of the finale of season 3, and I loved season 3 so much.
Yeah.
And then that last episode happened, and it's oh my gosh, Butcher and Homelander now have to team up to defeat Soldier Boy. And I was like, I'm so sorry. That is just not gonna cut it.
No, it's you'll never convince me that he was a bigger threat than Homelander. You have your chance. He's the harder one to take down. So, take him down first, and then gather people to take down Soldier Boy. It's priorities. Who's the harder one to beat? You have because you have an opportunity to beat both. So beat the harder one, and then move on. So
It's very bizarre.
yeah, I think that's frustrating. Daredevil, I mean, obviously he has opportunities to take him down, kill him in certain ways.
But with that, there's a moral dilemma,
Yep.
which the boys, as a
Exactly.
team in a franchise, don't have.
No. And I get that they're the good guys, so that, I mean, they're not wanting to go around killing people, but they also definitely have, nothing against killing Homelander. I mean, that's their goal. They've admitted that. So it's I just can't believe that when he has the chance when they have the chance that they don't take it. So, unlike Daredevil.
For sure. I think we've talked a little bit about the good and the bad of the boys. Any last comments to kind of talk about the show overall,
so.
highs or lows?
No, I think when season 5 comes out, we'll probably dive into it a lot more.
Sure.
And obviously season 5, that's what we'll make a video on. So, yeah, let's dive deep into Gen V.
Absolutely. So, I first want to talk a little bit about season 1.
Yeah.
I remember when this was announced, kind of thinking Prime is really rich for being oh my gosh, these franchise owners are so money hungry
yeah.
and always looking to make a quick buck off of these spinoffs that no one asked for.
Yeah.
It's hey, this basically espionage action thriller adventure series we have, what if we just made a spinoff where it's college students? And I'm while great pitch,
Yeah, there's
it definitely is giving wanting your cake and eating it too.
Yeah. It's there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing spinoffs. That's fun. That's I don't know. It's just you can't sit there and make fun of it and then do it.
Well, and you can, but I don't know.
can,
It's
but
something
then
I
there's
can't get out of
something
my
wrong.
mind
Yeah.
the entire time I'm watching.
Yeah. It is kind of funny.
So going into it, I had that in my head the entire time. That being said, I really enjoyed that first season.
Oh yeah. I was so excited and just because I feel like it was a great pitch and the trailers were looking good.
I remember seeing people thinking the trailers were bad, and specifically, I
think
know
so.
someone was like, "Is bloodbending even that cool of a power?"
I'm sorry, did we not have an obsessive Katara phase when we were all young? Because I did.
Crazy.
I loved Katara, and I loved that bloodbending episode, and quite frankly, I think she still should have done it. Whatever. Moral dilemmas.
For sure.
So.
But yeah, I think the college campus, that a younger crowd, a bunch of different people with powers, all in
Yeah.
the same place. I think there's that's a really fun and exciting and high energy place to
Yeah.
take your franchise. And I think the cast and the characters were really strong too, especially like right out the gate.
Yeah, I agree. What a great group. What fun power sets to put together. Now that you're not kind of copying and pasting the Justice League, like, I still feel like they did a really good job building their own team. So props to them for that.
Yeah, for sure. I think a very interesting dynamic with like the school, like athleticness of like being a hero and like the rankings. Some really interesting stuff. Ultimately, that ends up falling to the wayside. But I think it adds to the world building really well. It's just a blast. So, highs. Also love the mystery of the first season. I think that is built up so well, and I think that aspect delivers the entire season.
I agree. It's very fun figuring out what's going on. I will say, I feel like season 2, obviously it had a mystery element, but I feel like it was more so we obviously know what's going on.
Yes, I completely agree. I want to
Yeah.
circle back to this.
Okay, yeah. So just, food for thought. So.
But I thought it was interesting showing kind of the growing extremism among that population.
Yeah.
And seeing it start in a very like typical place, and then throughout events we see it grow into madness and murder of humans.
Yeah. I agree.
I think that specifically has a very interesting note because The Boys is very political commentary heavy. And I think very specifically going to college campuses and a younger group, I think is important because I remember there was I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, kind of this understanding or this like thought that I had like kind of heard be talked around where, eventually things are going to be okay because we're in a progressive society and someday all of the people with the bad thoughts are going to die. And then, we'll just keep moving on with the people who have the thoughts of what is, I don't want to say good or bad, but, in the vein of wanting things to be better.
Yeah.
And I think very lately even, I think there's kind of been this societal shift to be like, the children are not inherently all right.
Yeah.
And there's definitely, I'm going to say factions. I don't know if that's exactly the right word, but the idea that, there's different things that some younger audiences are watching that are leading them in very different ways than I think people were even expecting until recently.
Well, just like the growing trend, what is it? Andrew Tate, that's the guy's name? Just like that was poisoning young boys' minds. And I mean, he's, I think, in jail now. I don't even know. But then it kind of shifted. Like, I feel like Trump has he had his first term. And then Joe Biden had his term. And then, but I feel like there was definitely a huge shift towards the end of Biden's term where it was just became something different. Like, obviously his first term was very scary for a lot of people, but I just feel like it had time on the down low or whatever to fester and grow into something that it's just hard to even process now. It's just on another level. Like, it truly is like an idol being worshipped. It's not a president. Hence, like, the recent No King's Day protest that just happened last Saturday. So I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I guess with the college thing, it is interesting. Like, and I'm out of college now, so I don't even really know what to think about all that. Like, are we at a point where we can grow out of it anymore, or is it too late? Has he poisoned too many young minds? Like, I don't know. So it is interesting in this show. I feel like, at least because it's a superhero campus, they kind of have a lot of poisoned minds. So, and don't really explore a huge group of people being progressive. Obviously, our main group is, but they're, you know, what do you call them? They're like outsiders because of that.
Sure.
Which is interesting. So I feel like they don't explore the shift. It's like it already happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
For sure.
I don't know.
No,
that was a lot. So
that was a lot, but no, I think it totally tracks to
Yeah.
reflecting what this show, like specifically in the context of what this overall universe is. I think that's exactly showing how it kind of reflects onto the younger population.
Yeah.
Like feeding on the stuff that's boiling kind of under the surface that I think a lot of people aren't tracking because it's not being verbalized, and then it becomes cool to say it out loud, or at least socially acceptable to say it out loud in certain spaces, and then you just see it for what it is.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think it's all
and then
fascinating.
I feel like our generation's interesting because we grew up at the perfect time to where we didn't quite have everything was technology. Everything was AI. Like, it's just absolutely part of your life, whether you want it to be or not. But we had the introduction of it. So we were able to access information like never before. So we hear stories that could have otherwise been, you know, easily forgotten. So it makes us kind of progressive in that way. But not so much to where we're so obsessed with technology that we can't even write like a paragraph for class. Like, that's the complaint about the new generation, is that they can't read, they can't write. Like, they throw a tantrum when asked to write an essay, like a 1-page essay. Meanwhile, we're like, that's crazy. We were doing that all the time in school, and we, you know, it just gets harder from there. So I don't know. Interesting conversation there.
For sure.
I don't want to get too much into it though, because it, you know, we still got the actual show to talk
For
about.
sure.
So
Moving on. I think we talked about a lot of the good.
yeah.
Any bad thoughts on season 1?
Season 1. Gosh. I don't know. I hated Sam's character annihilation. And I was thinking about this earlier today, where I feel like I wish we would have gotten more or seen more of the in-between after they made the decision to take that shift and join Homelander and his crew versus where we're at the beginning of season 2. I feel like there was a lot of time missed in between that I think is unfortunate. I do wonder if their original plan was maybe to explore that a little bit more before that actor died. I'm not sure, because obviously that would have made it super hard to explore their time there when he's not there. So I don't know, but that's what we got. So it's just gonna be a what if, basically.
No, I completely agree. I absolutely adored Sam in that first season, and like
Yeah.
I loved how crazy but sweet he was.
The like puppet
The
episode
puppets,
is crazy.
I loved the puppets so much.
Yeah.
And like the switch in and out of like reality and his reality, I think was done super cool.
Yeah.
Super well.
Mm-hmm. And
Was
he was
cool.
a mystery element in itself, so he
absolutely.
was just fun because of that. So yeah.
How do we feel about like the finale, the end of it all, with the kind of outrage, the soup students killing all humans on campus thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's very extreme.
Listen, I'm gonna be so honest. I feel like I don't remember how it really started all that much. Obviously, I remember like everything on the lawn with our main characters, with Kate trying to walk up to Marie and or no, trying to walk up to Jordan and Marie blowing up her arm, and then Homelander shows up and has that whole thing, and then we think he killed her. I remember everything from there to the end, but I feel like I don't remember how it starts.
It's all because Principal Shetty, the human who was working on the virus to kill all soups and only soups. Basically, Kate makes her kill herself, and then it's like, hey, what if we just had an uprising? And then they were the ones who kind of pushed that all over the place. They released the people from the basements and the labs, and then they really started going crazy,
causing chaos. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Kate always had that kind of villain arc in her. I mean, she was manipulating Luke from a very early, Sam's brother, from a very early point, earlier than we even start the show with. It was flashbacks of it. So, and it, I feel like that made more sense for her to manifest into that, even though obviously we don't want her to.
That, her transition, I think she's a very complex character, especially in the first season.
Yeah.
I think the reveal that she was working for Shetty the whole time worked great, because I remember being like, oh my gosh, I feel like we're overlooking the fact that she has the ability to do this. No one's looking at her.
Yeah.
Does she mean the words she said? I remember having a blast around that time. And then I think having her kind of switch kind of where her loyalties lie, and then making that big switch at the end, I think makes a lot of sense for her. Mm-hmm. For Sam, I understand maybe what they were trying to do, but I don't
feel like it was near as good as the transition.
It's still a huge
sure.
jump that didn't have any kind of proper motivation behind it.
Yeah. Like, the seeds were there, but I feel like, instead of a slow growth, it was like, oh, it sprouted. It's good now. It's fully grown. Which I think is unfortunate. And then they have him be totally brainwashed because he loses all feeling. So, and even though the first time he asks for it, it's still kind of like a, obviously that isn't right that happened to him, that she said yes. But it does just feel very frustrating. It almost feels lazy. It's you made the switch before he asked for that, because the switch is that he got to the point to ask for that. But then I feel like the writers think that they can just do whatever with him because now he's brainwashed, and it's they don't understand where the switch happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I follow.
Yeah. So they're like, but the switch happened here. It makes sense that it was so dramatic because he feels nothing. And I'm like, the switch happened before that. That's my problem. So, anyways.
For sure. Going through, we talked about Kate, we talked about Sam. Maria's our main character. I think she is just so lovely in season 1.
Love.
Super interesting and unique power set we don't see super often. And bringing an outsider perspective. Love, love, love.
I love her. I think, first of all, she's so pretty. Her eyes are I think people have described them like doe eyes. They're so pretty. She is a princess. And then, just seeing her abilities, it was that full, manifestation moment of finally seeing basically, Katara, she's a badass. She's awesome. So, and I think it's interesting that she more so in season 1 uses her own blood. So unlike Katara, she never really uses her own blood. She only controls other people. So it's still different in its own right. I definitely don't think at all it's copy and paste. So it's just very cool. It's just enough of the fun stuff to be excited for it, and then very much her own thing, also very exciting. So
Emma is also introduced as a main character.
Love
She
Emma.
has so much personality.
She's so adorable and kind, and I feel like she's the most consistent character with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Actually, now that I think about it, every character I feel has their ups and downs, except for her, personality wise, as far as I can remember.
For sure.
She's just always nice.
And I would say, how do we feel about the reveal that she grows and shrinks via such an unhealthy way?
Yeah.
I think that felt super The Boys.
Yes, absolutely. And it gave her that way of like giving her something to grow from without without necessarily it being like her character growth is her making bad or like mean choices basically to like other people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the other characters, it's very much their nuances from hurting other people, and she's more it's hurting herself. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I think her character, especially in season 1, and I'd actually say it transfers over to season 2 in a different but very similar way.
Yeah.
Where her battle is her like main conflicts are all very internal.
Yeah.
And I think
And she tries to start shrinking and growing based off of how she thinks about herself. She has to like talk down to herself. She has to hype herself up for the opposite effect. So it turns almost, it's still very unhealthy, but it's mental now, which is interesting. Not completely. She still talks about, she still does the, and like the eating disorder, whatever you would call it in her case. But it does grow in different ways now.
Yeah, I think that's all very interesting, and I think the performance all really ties it together really well.
She's so talented. I need to see her in other things. I need to see a lot of this cast in other things.
Jordan Lee, our
Speaking of.
dual-gendered character.
Yes.
I think that premise easily could be like the show even explores, like super like, oh, look at this cool character who can do this super progressive thing.
Yeah.
But no, I absolutely love Jordan and like the ability to switch between genders and the different powers that they both have.
That's kind of awesome. But I also love that they explore the very, very human side of that. I think Jordan talks about their parents, like they didn't want to show their powers because they were scared of how people react. I don't remember, because obviously at some point they were only one gender before the powers manifested. I don't remember which one.
I don't think they've ever said.
I don't know. And honestly, I don't need them to.
No.
But I could, obviously either way. I think that would be super scary.
I think that we were told because their parents are in an episode in season 1.
Yeah, like the party scene, because then they switched just to piss him off, and I love that. I feel like it's probably they started out a guy, because I think the thing is that they don't like when they turn into a girl. I think that's because that's
what I'm remembering.
So I think so. But yeah, and then the struggles like with them and Marie, like feeling like they need to be in male form when they have like super intimate moments. And I love that Marie herself gets to acknowledge that and say like, you don't need to do this. Like, I am attracted to both of you. Like, it's not one or the other for me. You are you. It is one. So I think that's, first of all, a very fun way to like have Marie be a bisexual. I think that's fun. But yeah, and also acknowledging that I think is very sweet. Very unique situation. Like nobody in the real world would ever like say that, because nobody can like do that in their superpowers.
Physically.
Yeah, physically. So yeah. Anyways.
We talked a lot about Kate, talked a lot about Sam.
Yeah.
Andre, how do we feel?
I feel like Andre didn't have a ton to do in the first season, I would say. I thought he was fine. I thought he was nice. Metal bending, oh my gosh, has also always been cool. Again, it reminds me of Avatar with Toph. Such a cool moment when she learns to metal bend. I think it's very interesting, actually, that him and his father, they have the same power set and they have the same struggles with that. And I think it's interesting to put Andre in this position of seeing his father struggle with that. It's almost like he knows his fate kind of thing. And I think that's just interesting to explore. I wish maybe they did more with that. I do feel like he was on the back burner among the main group.
I agree. I really, and his dad, Polarity, has a lot to do in season 2.
Yes.
It feels like he kind of took his place a little bit in the plot.
So.
At least where like his powers were concerned.
Yeah.
But Andre.
Mhm.
Lord, Eric Andre. Andre, I thought was charming. It felt like he was only kind of in the main plot because it felt like him and Marie had something going on.
Yeah.
But then it ultimately ended up going with Jordan and Marie.
Yeah.
So I think that just kind of left him as, hey, I was already here, so now I'm still here in the plot.
Yeah. Mhm.
Him and his dad, I think, is the most interesting, like, unique
totally
element that he
agree.
added to the ensemble. Specifically
Well-
with being the kid of a super famous superhero. That's something we haven't seen
Yeah.
explored as someone trying to also do that. We have, like, Ryan, but he's a little too young to fully understand things, and Andre is not, so...
Yeah. And I also feel like Polarity was in an interesting position because he wasn't quite a good guy in the first season. He had a lot of issues to work through, but he's very much a good guy in season 2.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to give props to the writer because obviously they were in a tough situation. I do also agree that I feel like Polarity kind of took both roles writing wise in season 2. So for him and what would have been Andre's storyline, I think. I mean, I could be wrong. We don't know, but I feel like that would make sense. But I feel like it still was really well done. It doesn't feel out of place for me. It doesn't feel like he just suddenly is super in the friend group. It feels very natural to me. So props to them for figuring that out in such a great way.
I concur. And that being said, I do want to say it by name. His name was Chance Perdomo. Rest in peace. I loved him in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I was very excited to see him here. Probably because I loved him so much here, I still really enjoyed seeing him here in this show.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. It's such a shame. Obviously, whenever anyone dies at such a young age. But Jen, just specifically within this show,
Yeah.
I think there were definitely some places to go with his character.
Well, and you know what? They definitely acknowledge it in season 2 a lot.
Yes.
Especially that first episode. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just it is like very, like, they mention it every episode and usually multiple times. So I feel like I don't remember. They must have had a title card like for Chance or something like that at some point, but I don't remember seeing that. I maybe want to say I remember at the very beginning of episode 1.
I think that might have happened.
Because
very
then
vaguely.
it's like basically dedicating the whole season to him. But yeah, it's just a shame.
Yeah, very sad. Circling back into some of the other characters, Luke, you know, he was there and then he blew up in the sky in episode 1. I think it was really cool to see him continue to have a presence on the show.
Yes.
But I think that was a really great starting performance.
Yes.
For
Patrick Schwarzenegger. I will say I think it's such a shame that you mentioned this, that he blew up after that season 1.
Literally.
And then well, yeah. And then
saw
he was
that.
in White Lotus, and then he just can't really be in season 2 because he's not alive, and there's really no more reasons to do flashbacks. I think that's such a shame because he was so good. I loved his character, or at least like just finding out things about him. I think, and he seemed nice overall. I don't.
Yeah.
Did he ever like?
I mean, other than kill the person who was imprisoning his brother. And I guess he tried to attack Marie because he was freaking out. Pretty validly, though. He was pretty messed up at that point because of Kate.
Yeah. So, I will say I feel like that's a much more natural progression of Kate manipulating somebody.
I agree.
So, something to be said about that. But I will say Sam was also, without Kate, festering in his own, like, trauma.
Yeah, it felt like that
I
was...
guess it wasn't just her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Oh,
complicated.
Sam.
But we didn't get to see a lot of that, so then I don't know.
Okay, going on to season 2 of Gen V.
Season 2.
Okay, so obviously we've kind of talked. The Boys season 4 happened after Gen V season 1.
The Boys season 4 happened.
It did happen, and
That's what I thought you were gonna say at first.
we did not love it.
No.
or borderline like it.
Yeah. I mean, I liked parts of it.
There are parts of it for sure.
Yeah,
but
like our main group. I like, obviously, Newman's always cool as fuck to see.
Until she died.
Yeah, in such a stupid way.
So,
Anyways.
I will say the ending of that season did make me very worried about this season.
Yeah,
Did
me
you-
too. Me too. I will say I was in the back of my mind really hoping that this could separate itself from that, and I do think it did.
I think it did. I think it didn't avoid making its own unique problems.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't think it suffered near as bad as season 4, nor because of season 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I would agree on that note.
Anyways, makes me very nervous for season 5, I can tell you that.
I continue to
And
be
there's
so
nothing
nervous.
nothing good in the back of my mind for that.
The thing is, I think one of my big problems with season 4 is that, like, officially, like, Homelander has overstayed his welcome. I think if he
Yes.
died by the end of season 4, then he would have been here like the perfect amount of
Yeah.
time.
That's the only thing I'm looking forward to in season 5 is that he better die.
Like if
I
they put him in a
will-
prison underground somewhere, I'm
No.
gonna be like,
No, I will give it 0 stars. I don't care how good everything else is. I will give it 0 stars if it does not end the show with him dying. I can't. I don't even care really. I mean, I care, but I don't how crazy dramatic and long the final fight scene is going to take. I don't care. I just need him to actually die. I don't need them to pull a Batman versus Superman moment where like the Rock's nope. I need him to die and be dead. Or you're getting 0 stars. And that's that.
yeah.
So he has overstayed his welcome. And then Firecracker is like insufferable.
Indeed.
She's like
She's
the-
meant to be.
yeah.
Season 4 did give us that amazing meme of Peacemaker glaring at her on live television.
Homelander?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he also finds her so obnoxious.
Yeah.
But they agree on almost everything,
Yeah.
which I think is I think that's hilarious and also I think very true.
Yeah. So. Nice.
So, what were some of the things you were expecting from this season of Gen V?
Season 2. I don't really know. I honestly thought that Sam and Kate were going to be like bigger villains. I didn't know anything about Cypher at all. I knew they were going to get out of the prison, so that was fun. But honestly, I was a little bit dreading seeing Sam and Kate, what I thought were going to be villains the whole season. So I was dreading that. So thank God they didn't do that. The show got honestly like not. I don't know how to describe this. It got so much more entertaining to watch when they were all a fun group again. Like thank
Yes.
God this show is at its best when this group is like they're like on good terms.
I agree.
So
It was interesting. I personally really expected, like, the whole breakout aspect to happen. Like, I expected,
yeah.
like, that to be, like, where we start out.
yeah, and I didn't
Um,
expect Marie to be out on her own and to have left them.
Certainly
That was
didn't expect
a really shitty
Kate
place.
to bring to Kate to be the one to get them out of Elmira.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny though in the trailer. I will say when she had her other arm, obviously like later we find out it's like prosthetic, but it's like, whoa, how did you get that?
Well, because she
Thought
had
that
that.
was
Because
funny.
she was, her and Sam were very briefly in the last season of The Boys.
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
saw that something filled that place.
Yeah, but I do think it was fun. I feel like I forgot about it, and then when the reactions were coming out where she was breaking them out, holding her arm like this, they were like, "How does it there?" And I'm like, "What?" I like forgot. But anyways,
No, so I think it started in a place that shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I was looking forward to another mystery, which I think made the first season work really well.
yeah,
And I was expecting more powers, hopefully some new characters that we're gonna add some fun dynamics in.
Yeah.
It's probably about what I was expecting.
Hmm.
So,
I will
Did
say
we
that
get-
first episode was really bad for both of us. Like we
Yes.
hated that first episode. It felt like, because I feel like there's a difference between obviously like honoring a cast member that's no longer with us, but that episode felt like every other line they were mentioning it. It felt like that's the only thing that happened that episode. And it was crazy. It's like it's not even well written at that point.
I think it maybe
Which
would have.
is frustrating.
I think it maybe would have been a better choice for that first episode if everyone just kind of knew through different means already before
Yeah.
we met them.
The problem was
So-
that nobody knew. So like every 5 minutes, a new person was finding out. Oh my god! Oh my god! And it's like, how many times can I watch this reaction? I
Like,
can't.
I think it would have been a lot more constructive to have like more digested thoughts
Yeah.
on that whenever like these
Yeah.
people come together. Like whenever Marie and Kate come together and like they both kind of have their own terms on what happened and like the things they want to say or do to each
Yeah.
other. And I think that all still works with the end product of Kate getting her head blown up a little.
Yeah. And I also think, obviously it's tough at the beginning when Sam and Kate are still not good. Or at least, I guess Kate's trying to be good, but she hasn't quite proven herself to anybody, especially not the audience. So that's hard too. So it's like, you don't even have, the mystery element hasn't quite gone there yet. So that's not interesting yet. They're not a friend group, so that's not interesting yet. Nobody with new powers is really being introduced. Really, the only thing that exciting that happened.
And Dogman, hated Dogman.
Oh God, yeah. Because Starlight showed up in the first episode, right? Like the end of
Yes.
it. That was like the only exciting.
I don't
remotely.
know. I fear her showing up and then being like, "Hey, I need you to go do this mission for me, girl I've never met."
Yeah.
I was kind of like, "Ew, I don't. You deserve better than this, girl."
Damn.
Like, it felt like the show didn't want to like. I don't know. It felt like she was more of a plot device than a character, which I hate most times. Because
Yeah, true.
you can come up with a reason for her to want to get back to campus for whatever reason.
Yeah. It is interesting because, what's her face? The smart girl with like,
Sage.
Yeah. 'Cause she has like 2 different first names. We pointed out in the finale. They were like, they called you Jessica, and then they called you another name, and it's like, what's your name? Sage. That's what we're going with. It's interesting because she does mention in the finale that she planted some seeds to manipulate Starlight into looking into Odessa, and I feel like that could have been a much better place to start with. Mayhaps to kind of at least explain more why she's there, and then maybe that could have allowed for her to have better dialogue and like why I'm here and what I need you to do. Maybe have a longer conversation. I don't know,
agree.
man.
It feels super surface level for a character that used to be very deep and super involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get too much further into our conversation on season 2, it's game time, and let's rank some stuff.
Slay. Okay, so we're gonna start. We have like 3 different things to rank. Do we want to do them all together, I guess?
What do you mean?
Or do you want to like all 3 topics in a row?
Yeah, we'll just go
Okay.
back to back.
Cool.
Okay, you have your first one written down. First, we are ranking our characters, our main characters of Gen V Season 2 in
Yes.
order of how much we just like and enjoy them.
Yes, so that is Sam, Marie, Jordan, Emma, Kate, and we did count Annabeth because I feel like she definitely becomes part of the group.
Yeah.
I feel like I could totally understand if people don't want to count that, or count her, whatever.
Clearly she's here to stay, though. So.
But yeah, I like that. Yeah, so
I'm very curious
so-
to see how our lists compare, but I
Yeah.
fear this first one's gonna be the same.
I don't know. I put Annabeth as my number 6.
Also put
okay.
Annabeth as number 6.
And it's not so much her fault. I will say, she had the disadvantage of not being in the full season. She also had the disadvantage of being another insufferable person that shits on Marie for accidentally killing her parents. And it's like, I'm tired of hearing these people complain about it and gaslight her into making it believe like she's some monster for that. So then her being like, even just at the start, even for a short amount of time, being like, I also hate you. I'm like, well, I hate you too now. Get out.
Cool. She just saved her life.
Yeah. So Mimi, shut your mouth. Like, I can't. Like, I was so annoyed. I can't. Because then it was built up too, because Pam or whatever her name was.
Mm-hmm.
Patty something. I don't even know. She like ignited that, and then it was like burning brighter with Annabelle. I can't.
And what I couldn't stand in that conversation was like, they came to the conclusion in that reaction that like, it was not my fault. They had me be like this. I understand that like it was so they could have a kid in general, and that's not necessarily what makes them monsters. But I didn't ask for this, and it happened because of what they, did. And she was like, no, that's no fair. I shouldn't have blamed you. Yeah. And then that scene literally ends with, well, she blamed you. She never wanted to see you after you killed her parents. And it's like, whoa. And then to find out that she had superpowers also, like, literally before her sister did.
Yeah.
It adds such a weird...
To later find out she was just projecting because she was actually the one that could have stopped them and didn't. I mean, she was also a kid, so I'm not going to sit there and shit talk her either. But I'm like, if you want to go and shit on Marie, well, let's talk about you, because
and so
actually...
Marie would, like, with who she... Like, she would never do that.
No. So it was just very frustrating. Obviously, like, they get over that conversation and they get to a good place and she's good for the rest of the time. But then she doesn't really have, honestly,
she's
anything
kind of just
to do.
like the sixth wheel.
She's really, truthfully just there. I really wish they did more with her premonition. I thought they were, I mean, I know that they were trying to do the reveal of, like, I think this scene is happening here, but then we prevented it, and then, oh no, it is happening here. We didn't prevent it. I understand that was supposed to be dramatic. I feel like it would have been more successful to me if we just saw her have, well, maybe a different or just more premonitions.
Yeah, there's no reason they couldn't have had
for the
more.
whole show. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. And if you don't have that many premonitions, then it's not that cool of a power. It's like, I feel like you could do a lot of things. Like, you could be Alice. You could be Alice.
Especially when this whole season is, like, specifically about leveling up your abilities.
Yeah.
Just a little crazy to me.
I just, like, I will say, I just hope they use that more in whatever future they have. Whether they choose to use it in The Boys Season 5 or maybe a Gen V Season 3 if they do it. Mm-hmm. I just need to see them do more with her if they're going to use her. So, anyways. Okay, I feel like from here on, it's kind of like I like all these characters by the end of the show. So I put Sam next. I will say, because I do feel like even though Kate was a villain for much longer, I feel like it was built up much better, and I do feel like she still has plenty of layers. Like, I would never say she was just like straight up evil. I always feel like there was some manipulation going on. So, and Sam, obviously he has a lot of trauma, but I do feel like that whiplash of a change just really threw me. I mean, I kind of felt the betrayal that Emma felt, and it's like I'm kind of where she's at, where it's like I don't love you again, but it's like I like you, like we're cool, we're in a good place. Like I'm right there with her. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh
I
God.
am so sorry,
Oh,
Batty.
no.
My number 5 is Marie.
No.
Okay.
You're wrong for that.
I think her power upgrade, so great. If she had the personality she had in season 1, she'd be right up there. She pissing me off way too much. Like,
not too much of my girl, okay?
like
I can't. Listen, she's...
This script did her so dirty.
Yeah.
Like, she was
It
always
kind of
doing the
is.
wrong thing, pissing people off, like, not doing the smart thing, but then doing it when it was, like, a douchey thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, and she's
Ugh.
just too powerful and not doing stuff constantly throughout the
It's true.
season. Like, girl was truly the main character and the problem a lot of the time this season. And I hate that
That's
they did my
fair.
girl dirty like that.
Don't convince me to change my slot where she is. Don't do it.
I'm
How
sorry.
dare you?
I'm sorry to clock
You're
her
not a
tea
feminist
like
for that.
She can be better. I'm sure she will be better.
But you're so
but
right,
this
though.
was such a low point for her.
I still would not put her below Sam whatsoever. But unfortunately, you did have a very good argument, even though I was trying to fight against it. I was like, no, don't point out her flaws because you're going to make me put her lower. Yeah, I feel like, unfortunately, they just did her dirty this season. And I'm sorry, but it is frustrating because I feel like they're still kind of wasting a bloodbender. I mean, she's obviously doing more than Katara because she's morally okay with it. But it's like, you can do so much, and you did some cool things. Like, obviously, you healed freaking Godolkin, and then you healed Kate, and you healed Andre's dad, Polarity. Like, all that was cool, but then you were not nice the rest of the time, and you weren't even, like, that smart, and it's like at the beginning when she was supposed to be a runaway, I couldn't even believe the amount of mistakes
especially
she
when
made.
the show has done such a great job to show that she's like a pretty smart character.
Yeah. Felt like because of that, it felt like her choices were dumb.
Yes.
Because it's just so out of character for her, I feel
agree.
like. So, anyways, I put her in fourth. Thanks. I wasn't going to, but it's fine.
At my number 4, I have Sam. I fear it's like sometimes I forget what happened in the finale of season 1, and I'm just like, he's just baby girl.
No.
But
that season
Psycho
finale
murder.
was so rough for a Sam
but I enjoy
fan.
him getting slightly back to where he was pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I wish we had more puppet stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, I wish we had more of that in between time.
And he felt super
So,
back burner even
yeah.
when he was here. The
Yeah.
only reason he was super involved was because, you know, he is supposed to be friends with them, but then he comes back in to be like, hey, forgive me. And they're like, I mean, as long as you're breaking us out of a prison, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like I wish there was a way he could be more involved here.
Yeah.
And I think that would have helped him immensely. But
Yeah.
I still love me some Sam.
Yeah, I did like his I saw a lot of people tweeting that they hated that one episode where it kept cutting to him at his parents' house. They're like, boring, I don't want to see this. And I'm like, I don't know. I actually really liked that. I want that for him. I want him to heal. I understand it's, not as exciting as, I think it was like when they were in the prison again. I'm like,
Yes,
I
it was.
understand that it's not as exciting, sure. But I don't know. I was
think it's
happy
very
to
important to
be
show
there.
that, like, he is the way he is because he's never had this. And even when he did
Yeah.
have this, clearly it wasn't great. I think it does a
Yeah.
lot to explain why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
But yeah. And we just briefly got to see Puppet World again, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. My number 3 is Kate. I forgot the E and it says cat. I almost said cat. And I had a brain fart and I was like, nope.
Oh my gosh.
Forgot to write the E. Anyways, I just adore her power set. I think it's so cool. I do feel like she does a fair amount with it. I will say she has obviously a moment where it doesn't work, but it's still funny when
that's
she uses
hilarious.
it. Like, it's still filled with something interesting.
Yeah. Pause. I'm going to join this conversation. My number 3 is also Kate.
Yes. So, I don't know. It's like, I do like her. I am
She's
rooting
very
for
fun.
her.
I would say she has, like, Emma's consistency of, like, characterness. Like,
Yeah.
anywhere she is, I always, like, completely understand and agree with how she got there. which is
Yeah.
great.
Mm-hmm.
I love her performance. She gives like Valley Girl who's trying to be better, which is, super villain who's trying to do better in this capacity. Super cool. Her, and then like, feeling bad for her whenever she's like in the coma after all the stuff that she did. It's like,
yeah, that was a little like, I feel like you guys don't have to feel that bad. She needs to like apologize first before you're like, oh, I do feel bad. Especially because like they didn't like go to her and gang up on her. Like she found them and then tried to manipulate them again, and they were defending
I thought was
themselves,
interesting with that first episode is I don't remember in the first season her being able to just like read people's minds without touching them.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting new
interesting.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, has this all... What are we talking about here?
I don't know. But maybe, maybe she had some growth in power. And now she can do that. I don't know.
That feels weird that one unspoken, though.
Yes, I agree.
But either way, I think that's an exciting potential growth of her abilities.
Yeah.
Would have loved to see some of that more here. But then, and I also, I don't know, I like her throughout this season of trying to do better and trying to be better. She obviously was trying to jump the gun a lot, but I think that's also very Kate. Yeah, overall, super loved her in both seasons, and I think she continued her projection.
He's being so cute. He's making biscuits on my face.
Yeah, but is he helping you write your second
No,
and first character?
no, you go first.
Okay. Let me...
No, I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
My number 2, I dropped my marker, is Jordan Lee. No, my cat's leaving now. He wants to get the marker. Okay. Oh, and then that
Which
means
would mean
my
that your number one is
Emma. I feel like I could, honestly, I forgot an M. Why can't I spell today? I feel like I could easily switch these two characters. I adore them so much. But I will say, I feel like Jordan has had a couple moments where I'm like, you're not cool for that. I feel like mainly in season 1. I don't know if they have
because Jordan, what I like about Jordan, and I will say, I did flip it. My number 2 is Emma, my number 1 is Jordan.
Yeah.
With Jordan, I really liked that it was this, like, competitive facade. I think it's very clear where that comes from, and I think they explore that very well.
Yeah.
And then when the walls come down, they stay down. And
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
And then I love here showing that, like, just because the walls are down doesn't mean you get to betray them.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love that just because you do the betraying doesn't mean the walls need to go back up.
Yeah.
I super love that.
So.
I think whenever they break up with Marie, I remember having to interact, like, the thought of, like, that's sad, but honestly, like, the best thing you can do in this situation.
You're just so valid for that, because once is one thing, twice is now a pattern, and that's not what you deserve. So take some time away, and then maybe later, but we'll see.
For sure.
You gotta see some growth first. So.
And then with Emma, I think she continues to be very sweet. I think her, like, nihilistic personality at the beginning of the season is very funny.
Yeah.
And then the way she ultimately grows with her powers and being able to control it by the very end, I thought still felt very good, even if it was very... What's the word?
It wasn't quite...
Not as super focused.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as explored as I would have maybe hoped it to
And
be.
then her and, like, the Starlighters on campus I thought was super fun. The
Yeah.
idea that her being, like, an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Some very
That's
interesting stuff. The idea that you can inspire others and still be working on yourself, I think, is a great
Yeah.
message.
Mm-hmm.
Some very fun stuff with her.
Yeah. She just has a lot of fun moments. She's like a great comedic relief, but also very much has her own layers. Like, she's not just a comedic relief. She has so much heart as well. So, yeah, very fun.
Alrighty. Our next ranking is going to be our main characters specifically on us wanting their power set.
Yes.
Because who hasn't thought about this? And if
Yeah.
you haven't thought about this, start thinking about this.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you have yours revealed? What is?
Yeah. Mine, I put Sam as the last one.
That's crazy.
Sorry. Listen, it's because his superpower is super strength and durability. And, boring. Useful, but, like, I feel like a lot of especially in this universe, a lot of soups, like, they have a lot of that anyways.
Although,
So-
you know what I've not seen anyone else with super strength do? Jump. He got jumps.
He does have big jumps, yeah. Soper?
At number 6, I have Emma. If growing and shrinking was based on the way I thought about myself, I would
Well,
not. That's not me.
but do we really know, or if it's just, like, her? Because then it's not based off that at the end.
Homie, if it's her, it's me. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So I put as my number 5 Annabeth because I feel like it could be nice and useful to have premonition, but it also could easily drive you insane and be really depressing. So I will say it could be very useful.
Very
and
Macbeth
cool.
coded.
Yeah, it's like, but if you see something bad, like that could haunt you. It's like Edward's powers in Twilight. I would hate to have. I can't. I have enough thoughts in my own head. I don't need to hear other people's as well.
That's so fair.
So
At number 5, I have Annabeth as well.
yeah,
I will say, maybe if they showed her doing interesting stuff with it, I
Yeah.
can see them possibly
exactly.
making that go up my list.
Yeah.
If they explore that and develop
You
that
know,
at all.
almost at all.
But especially as it is, I just like get a random nightmare where something bad happens that I don't even know what it is. Like,
Yeah, I don't really
homie,
want that.
like my manifestation powers are better than this.
Damn. I put Emma as my number 4. Also because I feel like I wouldn't necessarily have the struggle that she has, or at least I'm not convinced that that's like a package deal. So I do feel like that could be really useful in some circumstances, but I don't see myself using it a lot. And also, I would never be able to shrink around my cats because I would get eaten.
It seems
So.
very niche too.
Yeah. I mean, that could be really fun because you could, like,
I don't know. And
be
also
a
the fact,
Godzilla for a day. Like,
but then you
woo,
have to be a
woo.
naked man Godzilla. Or a naked
Well,
woman Godzilla in your case.
You know, that's okay.
Okay.
You could, like, go to the ocean and swim in it as a huge person. That would be really fun.
I'm glad that sounds exciting to you.
What? How would that not be exciting to you? It's like a giant pool.
Yeah, but then the people on the space stations get to see my nudes.
You could just go under the water. They would maybe see your butt crack, and that's it. Okay? Just like, you know, don't float up.
Just
like,
drown.
No, just like don't turn over.
We're moving on.
And you're
My-
a guy. Just cover it. Okay?
My number 4, I have
Thank you.
Jordan. I think
Yes.
I will say, how often do I need to shoot energy bolts? Not often in my life. The invincibility is a nice
shoot
touch, but then that's
bolts
kind of
at-
it. I don't know. The switching between genders, I think, is an interesting ability on top of it all.
I think it's so funny when they switch to the male form to go pee in the
I
woods.
think that's great. I will say I would use that more. Like, I think that's like the ability I'd use the most of Jordan's abilities, specifically in the ability to like stop being recognized because like someone
Yes.
thinks that they're looking for a man, and then I turn the corner and I pass by them again as like a woman. I think that would be a very helpful tool.
You could literally also like
It's like a minor shape shifting, but like between two forms.
you could like dominate the patriarchy and dismantle it at the same time because you can be a man when it's convenient to you, and then you can be like to climb the ranks to get power, and then you could be a woman and tear it down.
Me rising the ranks of the matriarchy and the patriarchy, so I don't have to pick a side.
Guys, let's just all be friends. So my friend Jordan also thinks so. Yeah, I also think so. I also put Jordan as my number 3.
That's funny.
So, anyways.
Alrighty. My number 3, I have Sam. I will say, for me, it's mostly the jumps. It's like essentially
But like, why do you need that?
Because it's fun. It's like flying, but like...
And what, I can't think that swimming in the ocean as a giant could be fun?
It's mostly the naked part for me. That's what's got me.
You could just like, I don't know, find some big giant leaves. I don't know. Turn yourself into like
Anyways,
whatever outfit the
And then I can
avatars
also
wear.
lift heavy stuff. And
Ooh,
it
that
just
would
seems
be
very
nice.
convenient.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So yeah, overall, I think Sam is very
I could
convenient.
lift my
And
cat on my finger.
It's convenience and then also fun with the jumps. I would literally like be jumping all the time if I had the ability to do that. Wouldn't need a car. I'd
Yeah.
just be like north, south, east, or west.
Fair. And then I put as my number 2 Kate, which means my number 1 is Marie. So I feel like this was pretty close to me, but I feel like I wouldn't use the manipulation as often. Like the blood. Well, I don't know why I would use blood bending either. Hey, you don't have to have periods anymore.
Period.
That would be fun. You could just keep it all inside. Is that how that works? I don't know. Anyways, now I'm overthinking this.
You are.
Anyways,
mine
yeah.
is also Kate, and Marie is
Yeah.
number 1. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I fear I would use Kate's power kind of an unhealthy amount.
No, I would use it on like the general public like often. Anytime somebody pissed me off in like the movie theater, shut up. Like that's what I would do.
You're going to watch The Strangers Chapter 2 now.
No, that's how you get it. That's how it's $1 billion movie, guys. You just go around.
Oh my god, no.
That would actually
I
work,
would
though,
literally
if you
love
would-
that. I don't know. I'd have so much fun with that power to like a irresponsible point.
No,
I fear
wait,
I've thought too
actually,
much about
I need to put it number 1
because
now.
it's very Kilgrave
Yes.
from Jessica Jones.
Yes.
Obviously, way worse than even Kate is.
Yeah.
But it's had me thought like if I had the ability to do that, how would I like
I
do
would
it,
like
but also make sure I don't get like caught for it.
yeah.
So like you'd
I
have
would
to
do
contain
things that
yourself,
I-
and you'd have to word it in ways where it's
Yeah.
like if someone overheard me, they'd think I was just being really persuasive.
Yeah. Or you just have to do it in private and then say like you'll forget we talked. after
Exactly.
this. Yeah, I totally agree. I think, you know, if someone's mean to me, I could be like, stop being a mean person.
You actually think I'm the best person you've ever met.
Yeah.
No, it's super fun.
I would use that so often, actually. So I do fear I'm changing it to number 1. But Marie would be really cool, too. I guess I don't know why, but it just feels like it's a cool power.
No,
I will say I was ranking this not with the thought of me having the powers in mind. I was ranking it based off how cool I thought they were. Now that changes things. But really just like 1 and 2, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't think we need to write them down, but maybe we can just
Yeah.
shout out
Yeah.
some of the other powers we've seen on this show that
Yeah.
stood out. We did rank them, but I think we can just go up the list.
You start because you have more than me.
Yeah, I'll just we'll just read it off for the
Okay.
sake of time.
Sure.
So at number 10, I had Sloane the alpaca. You don't remember, but the invisible kid was carrying around Sloane, who was an alpaca when we saw them. So
That's interesting.
do they have the ability to turn into an alpaca? Is it all animals?
I
Are
need
they
to
just an
know.
alpaca? We don't know.
We deserve answers.
But I think very notable. Then I had the rememberer, the person who remembers everything. Pros and cons to that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know.
I feel like it could be mostly pros. Like I would just like study a lot of academic books
For sure.
and then be like the smartest person in the world.
I completely agree. Then I have intangibility, the ability to just go through things. Can be very helpful, especially for just like leaving situations.
Sure.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this show has always done it where the clothes don't go with you. And
Irish
although
kid.
I think Huey's dad did, like his patient gown went with him through stuff. So inconsistent.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Irish goodbye like no other. So you don't even have to go
Irish
through the
goodbye,
front door.
but I fall through the floor.
You're like in a party in a treehouse, and you're just like, bye guys. Whoosh. Anyways.
Guys, I wrecked my legs.
How'd they get down there?
Then I have invisibility. I
Yeah.
think also on top of that is the fact that his skin is made of diamonds when he's invisible.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I forgot about
Because
that.
he's the son of
Translucent.
Translucent.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing, that they couldn't just kill him because his skin became super hard.
Interesting. Right. I do remember that now.
Number 6, I have face mounts. I didn't think they were great whenever we first saw them. I think early last season. She sold me a little bit more on them here. They're very
Okay.
unique, but you know, they clearly get the
Sure.
job done.
Yeah.
Then I had Flight, a classic.
Sure.
I had Teleporting, a couple of teleporters this season, and it always looked really cool. And I was like, damn.
I want to teleport.
Next.
I would love teleportation. I really would.
I cannot wait to see what the Nightcrawler looks like in Doomsday.
Yeah.
I just need that effect to look super cool. It looked
Yeah.
great in X-Men 2.
Yeah.
I think it needs to level up.
Mhm.
And I think I'm so excited to see it do that.
I agree.
Then I had Magnetism, Polarity.
Yeah.
Like, that's looked cool both seasons, but Polarity continued the vibe here.
Yeah.
Copycat ability with the tail, the chameleon. Didn't know how much I thought that the tail grew on me once I found out it had a purpose.
Yeah.
And then puppeteering. It makes that look so much fun here.
Yeah. I agree.
So, loved.
So I did put Rufus, his ability on here. Obviously, I would not use it like he used it. But it has some similarities to Kate's for sure. So just kind of similar reasons. Could use it for really cool things, like telling an entire movie theater to shut up. So, the Son of Translucent. I put Luke on here because
Sure.
technically he's not in the main squad in season 2. Well, he's not in season 2, so yeah, he was cool. I just wanted to shout him out.
Pouty.
Polarity, of course. He does a lot of cool stuff this season. Zoe Newman, the daughter of
Victoria
what's
Newman.
her face? Newman. Yes. Obviously different power set, but it's still funny. It reminds me of the cat from Captain Marvel. So, I don't know, it's really funny, but also like very useful. Like, that's terrifying. So, and then yeah, Cypher. I put Cypher. Oh, also shout out to that girl with butterfly wings in that one singular scene in the entire, like, that's cool as fuck to have wings. Like,
But then if they're, I don't know, if they're butterfly wings, can you use them?
why would you not be able to use them?
Well, it's giving, like, the wasps can't fly unless she's tiny.
That's dumb. But then I feel like then you should be able to turn into a butterfly and fly.
Okay, well, they don't get to pick.
Well,
You think
I'm
B-Lady asked
assuming
for
it's
that?
Cool. B-Lady, absolutely. She's nowhere near this list. That's disgusting. Same with Butthole Guy. I can't. So, anyways.
We talked a lot about this. If you had to pick, like, 2 or 3 of your favorite parts, best parts?
I don't know why, but I really loved the conversation between Kate and Emma and Elmira. I loved
That's
that
a great one.
conversation. Oh, what's his face? I loved when the other guy showed up from the boys. The guy that helped them. I don't remember his name. But he's that guy. I don't remember his name.
Any other adjectives?
No. The one where they had the elevator down to the basement.
Oh!
That guy.
I have
forgot
him
his
down
name.
here somewhere. Stan Edgar. I agree. And that whole, like, little bunker, great.
Yeah.
Would not have left,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. And then the fight scene between Jordan and Marie. I feel like that entire sequence, like the other side of it, of Emma trying to get to Kate doing her own thing. Also, I'm going to put a bonus one in here when she went to the archives with Polarity and then she got big. I thought that was really funny. Yeah. And the fact that, like, she connected to the archives guy because they watched like the same show or something. That was really fun. I would say those 3.
No, those are great picks.
Yeah.
I agree with most of those. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I think finding Emma following the chameleon lady, I think, was fun.
Yeah.
I also really like that fight scene, like the fight build up and that whole action and the reveal, which was arguably maybe a little early.
Ooh, also Sam's conversation with his parents.
Yeah, like I would say specifically like on the swing set.
Yeah.
I think that was where it sold for me.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
When Polarity kicks Cypher out of his window with his powers, I think is cool as fuck.
Satisfying.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some great moments. What are some of the worst moments?
Oh, wait. Also, another shout out for a best moment is when Kate's powers are not working and she tries to manipulate a guy and then he's just like humping a gnome.
No, that's so good. That's a great pick.
Okay. Worst moments. The 2 big scenes where people gaslight Marie into thinking she's a monster because she killed her parents. Hate that. I'm over it. I need to never see anybody say that to her again.
Yeah.
Most of the first episode.
I would say all of the first episode.
Yeah. The fact that they had Marie leave Jordan and them twice. That's just horrible.
Twice, and then also constantly saying that she's not special or the chosen one.
I'm over that. I said some comment about, like, she truly is a chosen one, like Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, because they're, like, so clearly, like, meant to be the chosen one, except they're so, like, they seem so out of their element. It's, like, capability-wise, they should not feel out of their element, but they do. They're just, like, constantly, like, I don't know what to do, da-da-da, which is a little bit insufferable. So she has that in common. She's a true chosen one. She's in the group. So
yeah, I would say early Annabeth, like the first 2 episodes where we have Annabeth. Annabeth is the worst.
Yeah.
And then I would say anytime Marie is like on campus with Cypher or Godolkin and not killing him.
Yeah, specifically the finale. When she doesn't immediately kill him, and then he has the opportunity to take over her mind. Like, yeah, duh. This is not a character to fuck around with. This is not a character to do a monologue with. That was so annoying that she started to monologue.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need you to stop. Also, I still feel like I never truly loved, what's his name, Ethan Slater as Godolkin. I think that's his name.
I think so.
I don't know. Just felt like a weird character, and I just couldn't take him seriously because of the other roles I've seen him in. I don't know. Also, I feel like
oh my god,
Sage keeps being insufferable, unfortunately, which is a shame because she has a very cool power set. It's just a shame that she's like the worst. So
I don't know.
Anyways.
I remember back in season 4.
I guess she's not the worst, but sometimes she
I don't
acts
know.
like
I
it.
kind of appreciated the idea of them explaining why she isn't solving all of the world's problems, even though she knows how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the smartest person in the world, if you were on that level, especially in like a world where you're put up in this way, in this environment, I can appreciate how it gets there, how the character gets there.
I mean, I appreciate that she let Polarity go. I think
You
that's
know
a
what I
good sign.
don't. You know what I don't appreciate about Sage? That the smartest person on Earth, who literally meticulously planned an overthrow of the U.S. government, didn't think that Cypher was gonna continue doing the things he was already doing.
Yeah.
When he was puppeteering.
Yeah. You know the things that he said he was gonna do? Yeah. Yeah, I will say I still love the scene in The Boys where she gives herself a lobotomy in order to like feel okay to sleep with somebody. I think that's kind of hilarious. So
Yeah. I'm gonna jump a little bit.
okay.
I actually enjoy Ethan Slater's performance, and I love Cypher's performance.
Oh yeah, love his
I think
performance.
especially once, because as soon as he jumped into Jordan, I was like, cool. So Godolkin is Cypher in the Cataclysmic Chamber, and clearly because we saw him randomly in that first episode,
Yep.
that's Godolkin.
Yeah.
As soon as I like connected those two thought points, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is performing like Ethan Slater would perform this line. And that made me love that performance even more. Because then he continued to talk the same way. He's just much inherently dorkier. So I enjoy whenever there's a chance in these kind of things for actors to do that. Like in Harry Potter, whenever Bellatrix's actress is acting like Hermione Granger's
Hermione.
actress,
Oh,
Emma
Emma
Watson would
Watson.
perform that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I love shit like that.
yeah, I agree.
And then especially like the line where it's like, I see why you use the hands now.
Yeah.
I fear he ate that line.
The personality thing is like Jumanji in like the best way. That's why Jumanji's so fun. Is because you
For
get
sure.
some
I agree.
hilarious actors and very talented actors to do that well.
So Marie Moreau, I think we talked a lot about how these characters kind of feel this season.
Yeah.
So, going on Marie a little bit more though, do we think she can like continue just like being this powerful and existing in like a normal show? Because I think we clearly agree that the show suffered because she was so powerful and not immediately, doing what she clearly can do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's going to continue to be a detriment inherently going forward with her, or do you think there's ways to work around that?
I don't know. I think it would be interesting to explore, especially I don't know, like the links maybe she'll go to. It's hard because I feel like it would make more sense for her to be more cautious with her powers because she finally did something really, really powerful with them.
There's a cicada right on the
Whoa,
window.
I hate that. It's on the outside, but it's
Yeah.
still loud. Oh my god, I hate that. Anyways, we need to hurry and wrap up. I'm done. I'm like scared. But I don't know. I almost want to see her like have like a struggle moment where she's like, but I can do all this and then choose not to. But I just don't see why she would do that, I guess. We'll have to see where the boys cast takes her.
I'm very
think.
curious to see the boys take this cast.
I just want to see her get carried away a little bit with her new power set, but she still seems like she's hesitant with it,
Sure.
which is frustrating. I need her to like break out of it. Whether or not she then is good, totally good, or if she has a little bit of a struggle, moral struggle there, I don't really care. I just need her to break out of it and stop being like, I'm not the chosen one. I need you to be like Victoria Newman, whether or not it's like the start of her or the end of her.
Great
I don't care
point.
where you're at, but I need you to be that cool, basically. So,
Question on Annabeth. Do you think that she can be redeemed
Yeah.
as a character and bring this in?
just get a writer to give her a personality, and you've got it.
Perfect.
So, I mean, you have the capability to do it with all the other characters, so just choose to do it with her. Have the motivation. The love triangle with Emma, I don't care for it. I don't think she needed the other guy. I think he was kind of useless.
I do think it was very weird that they included him for that and essentially that alone.
Yeah.
I think
I
that
think
adds
that's a really
to-
cool theory that he was also a puppet, but then he wasn't. So it was just like, why is he there then?
Yeah, I
So
don't know. I feel like this season really lost a lot of the juice because we didn't spend a lot of time seeing new and interesting characters.
yeah.
We weren't in like the academic setting a lot.
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be as bothered by him if he just wasn't a love interest. I just don't feel like he needed to be a love interest. I feel like that was kind of useless. I feel like it would have been fine if you just had a group of Starlighters. Maybe your opportunity could could have been like having a few more Starlighters, and then that's your opportunity to show off some more cool powers. But they didn't go it that way, so whatever. I thought the jealousy thing is just I think that's stupid.
They are college students.
Yeah, well, college students are stupid, so I was dumb. Like, everybody's dumb, you know. So, it's okay. You grow.
So, I feel like we agree on this note. Did we enjoy Kate without her powers while she had them? Or didn't have them?
It was still fun. Still very fun.
I agree.
She always had her own thing going on. But I am glad she has them now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cypher Godolkin. The mystery we've agreed doesn't work.
Well, I mean, it's just not surprising. And it's just not a very good mystery. It just didn't last quite long enough. I feel like Peacemaker still somehow did a really good job at keeping it interesting, even though everybody already knew what was going to happen. I feel like it's because then they knew the stakes of what would have happened when the characters realize it. I feel like the characters are just dumb for not realizing it sooner.
That, I think, is the biggest problem.
Yeah, which Peacemaker being so dumb is one thing, but then once his other group gets there, they like immediately figure it out. So it's like, I don't know.
No, and I would say,
Crazy.
like, the reveal of him being able to jump into other people's bodies.
Yeah.
Like, if they just did that later in the season, I think that would have continued to work very well. Like,
Yeah.
that worked a lot in that episode.
Yeah.
Jumping into Jordan mid-fight.
Yeah.
So I truly just wish they didn't do that, like, halfway through the season. Because then it's just glaringly obvious what the twist is, because you basically all but admitted it.
Yeah. I think so.
Bizarre. Stan Edgar, great inclusion.
Yeah.
Polarity. He didn't explicitly join the boys.
No,
Ensemble
he
at the end.
stayed. Yeah, he stayed at the college.
Do we remember
Just
why he
interesting.
stayed?
I don't know. I remember them being like, so you're going to die, basically. And he's like, at some point. So then I feel like I need to go back and really look at the reason why. Because I felt like in the moment, I either missed it or they didn't explain it well. Because I was like,
I think it's
why are
they
you
didn't
staying?
explain it well. Because
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's that he feels like he has more work to do here. Maybe now that Cypher's gone, he's going to try to like take over for good. I don't know. But I do feel like maybe they needed to explain that better. Or maybe I just really missed it. I don't know. I do feel like he could easily jump into the boys. I don't really see him having a huge part of it. And I do feel like he's one of those that's probably going to die if he is in season 5. But I would love to see him. I really would. I feel like it would be easy enough to include him at least a little bit.
Sage, I talked about. It's crazy that she didn't see any of this coming. Although I do think I do kind of like the idea that she's drawn to the person who literally started it all.
Yeah.
I think that is inherently a little bit of a power couple.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially with his abilities, I think they both work hand in hand pretty well if they actually did anything together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like maybe perhaps they were going for like she just maybe got a little too confident, I guess, that he would stick to her plan, but I feel like that's a little bit lazy considering, again, she's supposed to be the smartest character in the world. So I don't know. I feel like if that's what they were going for, and that's just a guess, I feel like I don't like that. So
Yeah. And then specifically with Cypher, and Godolkin and the climax, I was excited after the second to last episode being like, oh, cool. So we get to see a bunch of students using their powers on each other, just like as he walks across campus.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, kind of a great pitch, similar to the end of season 1, but it's superheroes versus superheroes, and our team is trying to stop them from finding each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the whole social media, like, come to my
Come do
class,
this,
come
yeah.
to this place so I can, I don't know.
And then where he's like, I have the perfect idea. And it's like,
Let me go to Twitter really quick.
your perfect idea is to do a live a live stream and tell people they shouldn't. When have they ever listened to you before? Like, really? Why did you think again, this is like dumb. So it's like, why is she doing this? This is not Marie. So that just seemed so silly. But then it's like, then you have a kid screaming, running around campus saying, he's killing you, don't go to this thing. And then they're still going.
Yeah. And
It's
even
like,
in there, I feel like we didn't see nearly enough, like, superpowers to make any of that, like, worth it as a finale. It was very bizarre.
I did like the Fire Girl. The Fire Girl's fun.
Sure. But now I think she's probably dead.
Yeah. She was cool.
So, big questions. Season 1 or Season 2?
Season 1.
Season 1, for sure.
Yeah.
Worst episode and best episode, off the top of your head.
Oh, best episode. Oh, worst episode is the first one.
Agreed.
Best episode is probably.
I would say the fight episode.
Yes, I agree. I would say if Annabeth wasn't there, I would maybe say when they go back to Elmira. She brings it down, unfortunately.
The Boys Season 5. How we, now that we know that
Whatever.
very clearly they're supposed to be very infused in this cast.
I guess.
I don't know. I continue to just not
I don't
know
know.
where they'd
I'm
even
scared.
begin.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm scared.
ugh.
I feel like, unfortunately, I should probably rewatch season 4 before I watch season 5. I don't want to, but I think I'm going to.
maybe
I kind
maybe
of
it works
have to.
better as a binge and not a weekly. That's sometimes there's just that effect.
True. Very true.
But I don't know. I continue similar to how it ended in how Gen V season 1 ended. It's like,
Yeah.
so how jailbreak? Do we get a jailbreak this time? We have a lot of superpowers who could do that, but then how are you not guarding these people with like very high level soups?
Yeah.
I think it just is in a tricky place to start up again.
Yeah.
Gen V season 3. Do we think that is something that could happen?
I don't know. I really feel like the answer to that will not come until we see season 5. I really don't know. I would love to see more from them, but I have no idea what their plans are for season 5. Like, what if they kill off Marie or something? Then, yeah, then it's not going to happen. I hope they don't, but I don't know.
I would say of our main cast,
I mean, is it leading to Homelander versus Marie since they're the two Odessa projects? That's why I'm like, I don't know. Maybe both of them are gonna die.
Sure.
That's why my mind's going there. So
yeah, I would
I
say
hope not, but I don't know.
Then I moved on. I was gonna say if they killed anyone besides like Annabeth in our main ensemble, then there's not like a room for discussion.
Yeah, I
But
do fear like they're too good to not be touched. The boys cast, I'm like, I could let a couple of them go, and I'd survive.
but I don't know.
But-
I agree. It really depends on what they're trying to do with season 5.
Yeah,
Like if
I have no
Homelander
idea.
is gone, what does happen to that college in the first place? And it's very interesting and scary.
Yeah.
And then also the spin-offs that have at least been greenlit. I've yet to hear any progress on it, but
Yeah.
The Boys, Mexico, and the Soldier Boy in Stormfront prequel series.
I don't need the latter two. I'm not excited for that. Especially not the Stormfront one.
That one feels kind of insane to me.
I don't want to, like, you can do villain shows, but they can't be a Nazi and do it. Like, I don't want to, especially now or now, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, I don't know what
That's
the
too
person
much
who
for me
pitched
right
that
now.
thought. It's like
Maybe
one-
they'll cancel it. Maybe they'll be like, it's not the time. Because it's not. So, I don't think there ever is a time, but certainly not right now. So,
And then
the Mexico one, I just don't have any idea what to expect from that. So, just because of that, I'm open to it. Sure. Give me a good pitch, a good trailer, and
have you
I'm
heard
in.
that Diego Luna's supposed to be in it?
I'm in.
That
Sign me up.
does
Sign
make me
me
a
up.
lot more excited about it.
Yeah.
It
Well, and I mean, I feel like The Boys is mostly just like exploring what's happening in America with Soup. So I'm down to explore some other countries. What's happening in the world?
well, but the
Did
thing
they
was,
have a bot? I don't know.
but Gen V canonically was only given to people in the U.S. So how it gets to Mexico, I think, also. Is
Well, I mean,
interesting.
hey, plenty of drugs get smuggled all sorts of places. Why not? Why not
And
count
before-
Compound V?
And before it gets commented, I know Homelander does give it to another country, I think in the Middle East.
Right.
To like push
Yeah.
Soup's being used in the military.
Mhm.
Does that mean it's everywhere? Maybe. Feels a little odd that we haven't touched on that if that has been the case so far. But maybe
Yeah.
that's the whole
Maybe
that's
they're
the
gonna
whole
do
premise.
that.
That's a
Mhm.
great point.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I'm like, give me a bitch, and I'm down. So.
And then they say Diego Luna, and you say,
I'm in.
"You
The flavors are melting on my
you
tongue.
son of a bitch, I'm in."
Yeah, yeah. I just like bit the microphone. Anyway, not on purpose, by the way. I was.
Okay, we're officially
We need to
unhinged.
We need to be done.
And I think that's gonna wrap up all of our
Yep.
thoughts on Gen V season 2. Please let us know. What do you think of season 2? Best parts, worst parts? Let us know in the comments down below. If you made it this far and you've enjoyed us, please give us a like if you wouldn't mind. Until the next time, I'm your host Luke,
And I'm your other host, Alicia.
and thank you so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.
Bye.